the aluminum recording custom, and this is a 20 batter and a 16 Rezo. 4x15 nickel over brass. These, you talk about bang for your buck. Neve.
Oh, sweet.
This was my first real space that I had in Nashville, in this house. And it was already framed out when I bought the house, but there was a kind of, I referred to it as the saw room, because it had like the flickering fluorescent light that you could hear like humming, and there was like weird stains on the cement. So it really wasn't a question if someone had been murdered, it was more how many people had been murdered.
How many people, what's the number?
In this room. It was like, why did this room even exist? You know, what did they frame this out for? Who were they keeping in here? Kind of questions were being asked. So naturally that became my studio. And like kind of where, this is my wife's pottery studio now, so kind of where this drum throne is now is kind of where I would sit and have the kit set up. I have my desk against this wall. And I learned a lot in this room because I learned how to make a tiny room sound big. I went from being a single guy who had roommates and like, you know, a bass player friend of mine was renting the room above here to my family was growing and we were moving back into this house. Mm-hmm. I was like, there's no way I can be playing drums in here and have a baby, have my wife who works from home in the house. Because as much as I tried to soundproof all of this, we all know it's just an effort and futility. So one of the things that attracted me to this property originally was the house itself and the fact that it had a nice big backyard. If I ever wanted to put another building in, plenty of prefab buildings around, and I talked to no less than 100 companies.
It's in the sun, but can we take a look at it?
Yeah, of course.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Hooray, this is the outside spot.
Yeah. And, so yeah, I spoke to a ton of prefab companies, like prefab buildings, everything from like all metal container things, and people that design stuff that's kind of for musicians. And I found this great company in Lebanon, Tennessee, which is only about 45 minutes from here, this particular company, and this is just what they do. When they deliver it, it is studs and subfloor. So whatever you want to do after that is on you. So in terms of like actually soundproofing something, like what thickness of drywall you're using, whether you're building a room within a room, all those things, that's on you. They don't partake in that. But once we get inside, you'll see the ceiling is shaped kind of funny.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted.
Right.
As we know, we want as few right angles and continuous flat surfaces as possible. And the ceiling kind of has that. Should we go check it out?
Let's go check it out.
All right.
All right. I just didn't know if this floating floor was like a subfloor that helped vibrations from transferring.
I did it that way because I wanted to make this flood proof.
This.
Oh, that floating floor. Yeah.
Sorry.
Pro tip: if you're gonna get your kid a trampoline, tie these things up. Don't be like me and let your kid fall out of the trampoline. But anyway, not that important.
You're like going on. I'm like, wait, he's being serious.
I thought you meant like it's like literally floating.
Yeah. There you go. Come on. Beautiful. Oh, I feel like I'm at Drum Paradise in the office. You got this nice little schedule going on here.
Yeah. Are
you teaching from here and then recording from there?
Generally, yeah. Generally, the whole setup of the room changes. I wouldn't say frequently, but from time to time. But generally speaking, I have some kind of teaching / practice kit set up over here, and then all the recording shenanigans is happening on this side of the room usually. Sometimes I have a couple kits set up and mic'd at once, depending on what projects I have going on. Like I said, there's the loft with like overflow of drums, and sometimes I have a kit set up under the loft to get that drier sound, make it even clearer, very, very clear that there is not a very wide, tall ceiling above it. Usually I have a kit set up here under the tallest part, but I'm working on a project right now that I thought could benefit from having a slightly lower but not totally tight sound. So I set up for the first time right under this spot, and I actually really love the way it sounds.
Yeah. Again, in that kind of vaulted, or not, I guess.
Yeah, like
vaulted
this giving that a little more, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll look at that. It is nice to have something set up for practicing, teaching, and something separate if you have the space, because it just seems like once you've got mics set and things where you want them and you found that they work, you can get right to work. And that has been the biggest struggle with home studio, is how do I justify the time that it takes compared to working at someone else's studio as just the drummer.
Right. I would leave stuff like mics in place and then swap drums out all the time, but I hadn't like moved the area where the kit was situated in a while. This kit anyway. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of sweating it, and I was like, no, wait, I kind of Jordan-proofed this already, by like my labeling system and everything, because I like had done it enough times, especially in the little space where I'm like, the less space you have, the harder everything becomes, because you're just kind of, everything's on top of itself.
Yes.
So I just kind of developed a new kind of labeling system for cables and things like that.
That's true. I see that.
Like, I don't understand how clubs and studios and rehearsal spaces don't, like, how they survive without this. But like every cable has a label at the beginning and at the end. So I know like the number 8 channel, where it goes over there too, like where it is, instead of having to like feed it and have to find which one it is. I'm like, I don't know how anybody does that. Mm-hmm. Obviously they do it, you know what I mean? But I'm not smart or patient enough to do it any other way than this.
Any minutes that you can shave off to this and get right to it?
Totally. I film stuff for students who don't live here, and I have a little bit of an online thing, but like plenty of people in town or coming through town want to take a lesson and just have them come over.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Plenty of books.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Anything about your snare collection that you want to point out that is maybe unique, something about it that's special to you?
Well, I'm a Yamaha endorser, and they've sent me some really incredible drums. Actually, this one I've been using a lot.
Oh, beautiful.
This is the aluminum recording custom, and I have this, I don't know, you're an aquarium guy. Do you know about these Force 10 heads? This is new to me.
Okay.
I ordered it on a whim with my last order just because I saw it on the site. Yeah. And I like the description. It's really thick. I don't have it tuned too high.
Single play?
I don't. I think it's a lot more. I don't remember off the top of my head, but like there's no. I don't have any moon gels or anything on this, and I'm not a master tuner. I can't tune out ring and overtones masterfully, and it just stops. And it just sounds awesome. So this one's been a favorite lately as far as my snare collection. This is just a good story, not to get too long-winded.
No.
But this Black Galaxy is from the drum shop I worked at in high school in Philly, kind of the Philly version of Columbus Pro.
Yeah.
That guy, Steve Ferrara, who owned that shop, was like deeply into vintage drums before everybody was deeply into vintage drums. He was like 30 years ahead of his time. Mm-hmm. And we didn't sell a lot of vintage stuff. We sold a lot of Yamaha Maple Customs and Recording Customs and Stage Customs and Pearl Master Series and things like that.
Just like Columbus Pro.
Like that was just the 90s and the 2000s where that was, Pearl and Yamaha and DW ruled the landscape.
Yeah.
And anyway, lost touch with Steve for many decades, went back to Philly for a family thing. Through a funny chain of events, I ended up at his vinyl shop that he opened. Also, he was into vinyl before people were into vinyl. And I was just reconnected with him, saying hello, catching up, and I moved a whole chunk of records to the side and saw a bunch of drums behind the records. And I was like, Steve, are these the drums from the Music Works that you never sold? He's like, some of them. I have some at home. And I'd always been thinking about this Black Galaxy that I walked past for 10 years as a student and then as an employee at the shop. And I kept the...
Still got the old tag.
I kept the old tag on it. I took it home with me that day. So, and it sounds amazing. I love my Yamaha drums, but this Black Galaxy is awesome. I have a Black Beauty that is like, there's a reason it's almost everybody's go-to, Is
that a 15 up there?
Yeah, so this one's a 15. I actually got this one just recently. 4x15 nickel over brass. Beautiful drum.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Gorgeous. It's not for everything, but the stuff it is
No.
for, it's really for.
Dude, that just, I mean, just sounds amazing. You got wide snares on that.
Yeah, I didn't change anything. The guy that sold it to me, like, I mean, I put a moon gel on it and changed the tuning just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I loved it so much, like when I just tapped on it in his front yard. This is a Facebook Marketplace purchase. I was like, this is going home just like this, not touching it too much.
Yeah, no.
And this is the state it's mostly been in. I have a recording custom 8x14 wood drum.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the studio right now. That's kind of become my workhorse. That's like the drum I use with Jessica. It's the drum I use with Guthrie Trap and what I use with Guitar Party, and it's on a lot of recordings that I do too. There's like, when you have these many drums, there's also like there's a play to like never change. Like this drum does this thing and it lives in this zone forever, and this drum lives in this zone forever. But like, if like that recording custom snare, the 8x14 can do so much, and my ability to get it from A to B to C to D with minimal effort is like, I've never had that with another drum. It's just up to you to find how to use every drum as many ways as possible, and that includes different heads. You know, I just specifically, like the drum that's up there right now had an Aquarian. I forget what Aquarian it had on it, but I was like, this just needs an ambassador for this song. Like I just and I knew that drum well enough to know that if I just quickly throw an ambassador on it and turn it up a little higher than I usually play drums, but that's going to be perfect for this song. And then of course, like after the first pass and I sent it to the client, they were like, that snare sounds incredible. Yep. You know, so it's like, again, I'm not a master tuner, but I like, when you know your gear,
you got to know exactly. That's what it is. Know your gear.
Yeah.
Amazing. Tell me about this kit.
This one?
Yeah.
This is the it tricks on or tricks in, depending on who you talk to, conical. So I don't know how well it's coming through, but it's wider on the resonant side. So that's the batter, and that's the resonant. Am I doing that right? No, I'm sorry. Obviously, it's wider on the batter side.
Okay.
Sorry, I said that backwards.
Yeah.
I just got these from Nelson, and I've been crushing on these drums forever. So here's the floor tom. So batter side, reso. So this is a 14-inch reso, 16-inch.
Oh my gosh.
Batter. And then the kick just sounds super cool. So this is a 20 batter and a 16 reso.
Amazing.
And I played a show at Nelson's, I don't know, 6 months ago, something like that, with Adam Levy and Rich Hinman. And you know, talk about a place you don't need to bring your gear to go play a gig at. And Bryson asked me, like, anything you want to play, anything you've had your eye on? I was like, do you have any of those conical Trixons around? I'd love to play one of those. Like, I don't have any right now, but we got plenty of Trixons, just not that one. So I played some beautiful set of, like, you know, same diameter batter and resonant side drums. And they were gorgeous. And then literally the next day he texted me, he's like, look what just came through the door.
Sweet.
So, and these were, you know, very much player grade, not collector's edition vintage drums. You know, they're pretty beat up, which is perfect for me because I'd rather.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to play them.
I'm with you. I'm with you, man.
And they've been great. I've taken them out a few times.
When you pull out a kit like that, a lot of times we get obsessed with gear. And we're like, man, this is going to be so cool. And nobody says anything. Nobody notices.
Everybody notices these drums. I mean, granted, I brought them to the rehearsal with Guitar Party and Nick Goverick, and they are all gear nuts. None of them are, I mean, like they all play a little drums. Of course, everybody plays a little drums. But those guys are all, you know, what year is that? What, you know, amazing. What thing is this? And I pulled the bass drum out, and they were just like magnifying glass. Like, what am I looking at right now?
Yeah. Are these recording customs?
These are recording customs. These are like, I never got them specifically checked out, but I'm assuming these are 80s because this is a non-yes mount for this one, and this is a yes mount, so this is probably 90s or early 2000s.
Oh, okay, see.
And during the pandemic, I bought a 22 by 14 recording custom kick just by itself off of Reverb, and fell in love with it, and that's in here, and started thinking about getting more of them. This is before I linked up with Yamaha as an endorser, and some guy was selling like an unbelievable collection of Yamaha recording custom toms in piano black, which is what my kick drum was. And he wanted way too much money for them, even for how many there were. And I was like, well, I'm not going to give him that much money for those drums. And then I started to notice that that it was getting cheaper and drums were disappearing from the picture. So people were sending him offers for 1 drum or 2 drums. So when it got down to a collection of drums that I wanted, I sent him an offer and he took it, and that like filled out my recording custom kind of like semi-vintage kit.
Okay.
Between 80s and 90s era.
Gotcha.
Stuff. And then this is the modern Yamaha American Hybrid Maple, which is also what these are. This is like the bebop version that I'm using, kind of sizes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a 24, 16, 13, and I have an 18 floor tom over there too.
Sweet.
And this is a vintage Yamaha kit from like the late 70s, I think. It's like I didn't even know Yamaha was making drums back then, but that's a Yamaha kit too. Those are incredible also, but I was like, I think this other, it's a 20, and it sounds just like it looks,
Yeah.
And it's suiting this record that I'm working on beautifully right now.
So I'm looking at your configuration. What do you got? Is it a D112?
Mm-hmm.
Distance?
Then a PM11 mic tech.
Okay, that's the silver.
Mm-hmm, this guy.
Uh-huh.
And the use of it in this way and the placement courtesy of our friend Kyle May.
Mm-hmm.
I spotted that on one of his videos recently and had to give it a shot, and I love it. Sometimes I use this too.
Okay.
It's obviously not plugged in right now. It's 91A.
Yeah.
And I put it inside. Sometimes it's like exactly what the blend needs, and sometimes it's like I just can't wait to mute it and keep it out of the picture completely. And
I feel like the D112 provides something.
It's pretty. Yeah, it gives you a lot. I did this project for a producer that wanted to essentially recreate the sound of Super Unknown, and that became a really essential part.
Oh, interesting.
So he was like really grateful that I had it in my setup. So it's obviously everything is kind of project specific, but that one feels very, very project specific. I keep it nearby.
Couple 421s on the.
I like the PM10s too, the Mic Tech PM10s, which I have on the under snare, but they sound great on toms too. I swap those in sometimes.
Yeah, I want to take a look at that. Is this an SE?
Yep, it's the SE with Voodoo ribbon mic.
Yeah.
This thing has incredible low end. Like it's really cool as the kit mic. So this is kind of what I call this position.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful of the proximity you put it to the kick drum, or else it will just totally like suck up all the low end, and it'll just be like another kick drum mic with bleed, as opposed to like a kit mic.
I was on a tour. They use those on the amps.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but it worked. What are the overheads you have here?
Yeah, these are KM69. So anybody who's been buying gear, like recording gear, for like the last, 20-ish years will remember Mercenary Audio, which is a Massachusetts company.
Okay.
They were like a boutique audio company on the internet before there were endless boutique audio companies on the internet. They were kind of the first ones. And they started making some of their own equipment, like their own branded equipment. So the KM69 is a Mercenary Audio mic. And
that logo looks familiar.
Yeah, a friend of mine who was like my as another friend of mine calls it, he was my tone chaperone. Whoa. That's just the ghost that lives in that corner. Don't worry about it.
There's this little gremlin that just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Not to be confused with this gremlin.
No.
But, I've only encountered them in the wild one other time. The house engineer at the Jazz Kitchen in Indianapolis has a pair, and he uses them as the overheads there. It's the only other time I've seen them in the wild.
Amazing.
And they sound awesome.
And do you normally set up the spaced pair, this design, as far as how you have them set up?
Usually. I have one of the, I don't know what you call it, but one thing that clips into the mic stand, and then you clip the two in, and you can arrange it however you want. Sometimes I do that, but I seem to prefer a wider footprint facing in as opposed to a singular footprint facing out.
Yes. I've been doing the spaced pair for the last year and just really happy with it.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's great.
I don't know how, like if you know what sounds you want and you know what sounds you like, you kind of can't go wrong. But like,
it's another link in the chain. The way you play, the way you tune.
Yeah, exactly.
The drums you own, the cymbals you own, the mics you own, and then how you set those mics up is it's crazy. I've seen this a lot. I've used it temporarily. It's funny. I kind of did the same thing. I took a cable wrap and cinched them together. You've got the 57, and then what's this condenser you have there?
This is an 81 over here. I think.
Okay,
that's
I'm sorry.
a 451.
Okay.
Like I've been recording myself and trying to market myself as a remote drummer since like 2007 or 8.
Oh wow. Okay.
And you know, since the M box days, you know. And for the longest time, my approach was you get really well recorded raw tracks, no processing of any sort, then your mixing engineer or you or whoever can do whatever you need to do. And then I had my philosophy kind of changed, and I was like, I think I want to send people, eventually I kind of landed on the, like, I think I should be shooting for a stereo bounce that is so good they just want to use it as a stem and they don't want to mix anything else. Like, I'll still send them the multi-tracks, but if I can give them something sounding so great and so dialed in for what I think they need sound-wise, not just performance-wise, but sound-wise, that will make me that much more rehireable. Some of this stuff is for options for a mixing engineer later, and some of it's because I know exactly how I would want to use it when I create that high-quality stereo bounce that I'm trying to get them to fall in love with. And I'm totally self-taught when it comes to this. Self-taught via trial and error, via asking friends for advice, and YouTube, like most of us.
Exactly. So has it been worth it?
Absolutely. And also, like, yes, there's a ton of gear in here, for sure. There's a lot of mics on these drums. Whether you're trying to market yourself and like add to your income stream, or you just want to like work on a skill and like have a new musical outlet for something that's creative and interesting and fun and stimulating, like, this is like one of the best Pandora's boxes to get lost in, for sure. Again, whether you're working with 2 channels or 30 channels,
This is cool. I didn't notice this badge here.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a Tama vibe to it.
I can see
as
that.
far as the shape of the badge.
Right. That is the Townsend, which is now owned by Universal Audio, mic that is it's for mic modeling.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm still getting to know it, and I use these Cascade Fatheads as room mics.
Yes, I keep hearing about these.
These, you talk about bang for your buck. Can't go wrong with the Fatheads.
Okay.
They're incredible, especially for what they cost. Got a great deal on this one too, and keep an eye on all the millions of emails that U Audio sends. You can get a deal on the plugins too, and I have all the mic modeling plugins for it, and I've been messing with it a lot, and I'm definitely not harnessing it to its fullest use yet, but it's definitely a very powerful tool when you combine it with the software. For sure, it's super cool. I have mic pre's for every single one of my channels. I don't have any converters that have pre's built into them. Well, I guess this technically the Twin does, but my X16, none of the X16s have pre's, and this Arturia is just input. It's not pre's. And my original, before the Apollo X16, I had a Apogee Rosetta 800. Also no pre's, really high level, beautiful conversion. And I had some of these APIs and these Great River mic pre's in the lunchbox, and I had this 4 channels of Day Kings, and that was my setup forever, for like a decade or more, was those 8 channels through the Rosetta. And I eventually wanted some more channels to work with, and the Rosetta was such old technology that it was very cumbersome to try to add channels to it, to like daisy chain stuff from it. Because I was like using a 2010-ish MacBook Pro through the PCI slot on it, like stuff that does, like, no one under the age of 20 has ever heard of, like technology that they've never heard of.
Oh, no.
So like trying to like firewire to like an Apogee Ensemble just wasn't working, or something like that. So I sold all of that, bought the X16 and another 4 channels of API here, and which got me. So anyway, I eventually got myself up to 16, and then it's a very long, kind of funny story as how I came to also acquire this Neve.
Oh, sweet.
Which is only mic pre's. It's not the whole channel strip. You can't do all the compression and the EQ that you would, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that kind of put me over 16. So then I got this Arturia to see if I could start harnessing everything again.
Okay.
Not that I need 28 channels, but I could if I really wanted to.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Yeah.
You never know what that next project may ask for.
Right.
You've got the rotor toms right over there.
It's true. So I do have everything.
Yes, you do have everything.
But what I was going to say was I don't have, unless you count mic pre's as outboard gear, which I don't have any outboard gear. I don't have any physical compressors. I don't have any physical equalizers or anything like that. It isn't built into a pre already.
Yeah.
I just do, after it comes through the pre, everything's in the box for me.
Okay. And then in the box, you're using whatever you need to.
Whatever I need to. Yeah. Everything from classic hardware emulation to brand new, wacky, completely just like modern, not based on specifically on some classic piece of gear, that just sounds interesting and fun to work with.
Right. Are you noticing a big difference with your beater?
Huge difference.
Gotcha.
So that one specifically, which is creative percussion, I think he calls it the mushroom, to the point where I've brought it to sessions and engineers are like, okay, what is that?
That's
like
amazing.
They're hearing it too.
Oh, I love it. Cool.
I don't love the bomber style. Of course, we all have one or two of those lying around, like the kind of what people associate with like a jazz bass drum sound. I don't even really like those for jazz personally.
Yeah.
I don't like the response on them. I don't like the pure lack of definition. Maybe they sounded great on the drums of 50 years ago or 60 years ago, but they don't sound good on these drums.
Yeah, good point.
And they don't feel good to play. So when I discovered that thing, I was like, well, this is incredible. Like, this just sounds awesome. And I keep this little pouch with me everywhere I go, every time I'm recording, and I have a ton of beaters in it.
Oh, why not? Like a stick bag.
Exactly. It's a stick bag for your foot.
Okay.
And I mean, I have the JR wood square one that I keep around. This one's like, it's amazing. I when I heard that interview with him, that he said like this is what he uses on everything. This thing is like really full of attack, and I don't have an easy time making it sound great personally. Obviously, he does. I love this innovative percussion kind of mallet style.
I have that.
These
Love
sound
it.
great too. But this mushroom creative percussion one is awesome. It gets a lot of the right kind of attention.
Well, there again, man, you're kind of reinforcing this idea of this attention to detail.
Yeah, and
That
also
can make
like
a big
we were talking
difference.
about before, getting to the solution quickly and easily. Changing out a bass drum or changing out a bass drum head isn't always an option.
Right.
Changing a beater couldn't be easier.
Right, totally.
As long as
for
it's
sure.
handy, obviously.
We wanted to talk about cymbals. You're a Meinl guy.
I've been with Meinl since 2019. They're the best. I'll fight anybody to the death over it.
Great.
I got these two extra thin hammered crashes, a 19 and a 22. These, I change my cymbals a lot when I record, but these ones make an appearance quite a bit.
Yeah.
Here and at other studios. This is a 24-inch Foundry ride. I think it's on the lighter side, most of them. Sometimes I put, like these two crashes have gels on them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I put a gel on this guy.
For sure.
This is, so my two original sets of hi-hats I got from Meinl when I linked up with them, when I started touring with Adrian Ballou. I needed two pairs of hats for that setup. And one was this, I always forget, I'm a terrible artist, so I always forget what each one is. This is like the Byzance kind of, medium. This is the bottom, and this is the bottom from this Extra Dry series.
Okay.
The tops of these sound awesome together, and those kind of live in my cymbal bag, and these bottoms sound awesome together, and they kind of live
There you go.
in the studio.
It's like KZs of the 21st century.
Exactly. That's a perfect way of putting it.
All right.
Hopefully Meinl
I'll see myself out.
Yeah, hopefully Meinl doesn't mind that we make
I like
that
to end on a
connection.
high note.
And I have the Carter McLean art
yes.
storage, cymbal storage
yes.
thing that everybody went crazy about last year. keep all my splashes and sound effects kind of in this little pouch here, and then they just kind of get bigger and bigger. I don't know if we probably don't want to go one by one.
No. Is there anything special? Anything that
The rivets fell out of this guy, but this is the 22-inch Sand Crash Ride.
Mm-hmm.
This was the cymbal that made me fall in love with Meinl as a company.
You hit that with us.
If you ask me, that's just how cymbals are supposed to sound.
I feel like my blood pressure just dropped a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, gosh, I'm such a fan.
Yeah, they're beautiful. This, what are these called again? Yeah, the Pure Alloy Customs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are gorgeous. I do a lot of the, I should say I've done a lot of the, like, this year's new product demo videos for Meinl, because they're based here in Nashville. So like the last 2 or 3 falls, I've done the what's coming for the next year.
Yeah.
New cymbal kind of spotlights. And it's so hard to walk away from those without like a mental list of like, so I remember when those Pure Alloy Customs were coming out, and I was like, see you in January, Chris. I'm coming for these.
I mean, I hear 2 different traditional classic cymbal companies from those 2 different cymbals.
Yeah.
Sonically, just characteristically.
Totally.
That's, amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We have a track pulled up.
Yeah.
Drums only here. We are listening to that Yamaha with that new Aquarian head.
Yeah, the Force 10 Aquarian.
Force 10.
Yeah, and it's the aluminum 6.5 by 14 recording custom. It's this vintage kit, vintage Yamahas. I'm terrible. I don't remember the name of the line. And
sweet.
These same cymbals.
Okay. All these cymbals, that snare?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, those toms. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and like this tune, obviously I can't play the track, but it's a slower, kind of medium slow, kind of a little bit brooding, a little bit like emotionally, and there's a lot of space in the guitar part. This is an acoustic guitar playing duo that they both sing and they both play acoustic. I've played on a few records of theirs. One of them's a very old friend of mine, and I was just thinking, like, none of this is calling for like a notey, dense drum part, but it needs to feel like all the drums need to feel connected to each other. Like I don't want a lot of obvious daylight between transients, you know? So instead of like having a really tight, small sounding kit and drenching it in something, I just wanted these to feel as big and as loose as possible.
Yep.
Put a little bit of reverb and room and kind of spatial design in there, and kind of get every hit of a drum to kind of connect to the next one as organically as possible.
It sounds like it for sure. When you're adding some verb, are you adding that to any specific? Are you adding to that room mics? Is it a little bit of everything? You have a bus channel that you're just kind of adding a little bit to?
One of the things I like to do is create just a bunch of sends. And what I send to them will vary tune to tune. And that way, the artist or the client or whoever it is isn't totally committed. Like if I send them a snare channel that's full of something other than snare, they can't do anything to it. But if I send them the snare channels,
which is clean,
all those mics clean, but I'll put like light EQ and light compression so it sounds like I want it to sound.
Yeah.
But then if I'm making like an artistic decision, like reverb or something like that, or a delay or something like that, putting it on a bus so that they can be like cool idea, Jordan, don't like it, but these drums sound great, so I'm just going to do what I do with those.
So if they're using Pro Tools,
I just send them waves of everything,
including the bus channel.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. That clarifies it.
Yeah. If you Apple click on a bus channel and say create track.
Yes. I do that with Click. I'll send. I wonder if you do this too. Say somebody sends me an MP3 to play along with, and there's a gap from the 0 to whatever, and I kind of find out ways to massage that so their click is lined up with Logic click. But then I'll export my track, and lately I've been exporting my click as well. I'll make a channel of that click and print it.
Yeah.
Especially if the song has tempo changes and stuff like that. But then they've got a starting point. Because what my fear is, even if it's 3 to 7 milliseconds off, and they just drop my track into their track, then my pocket is going to be different than...
It's not going to be your pocket.
It's not going to be my pocket.
Right.
Now, it's arguable whether it'd be better or worse, but still the point is...
The point is you want them to have you. And what you envisioned for their track.
It's all those little things when you're working remotely. Yeah, no, that's... Okay, I've never done that before, but as I venture into creating something... Yeah,
let's see what I put on these. So all I have is a little bit of... EMT 140 on the snare. So if you just want to, we can solo that if you want. And let's go back to where we were, because that was... Oh. So it's pretty wet, but I have it low in the mix. If you mute it, it's pretty stark. And then the other thing I have is
ooh, that's a UAD.
Yeah. And then I have I do this. I think I'm sending all the room mics and the overheads to this, what I'm calling Room Crunch. And I have this really cool, again, going back to the just getting creative. Heaviosity, super cool company. They make a lot of what you might associate with film score sounds and things like that. Yeah. They have this distortion plugin called Fury, which I love.
That's amazing.
Which it sounds a little goofy by itself.
How is that any different than
And now this is a little too clean for my taste, so this has just a little...
It's like a bottom snare. Could you show us a picture of that? Or
a Fury?
Yeah.
Of the plugin itself?
Yeah, the plugin itself.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, just going through some presets even.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's just the drum stuff. They've if you really want to get...
Yeah, that is
Super
great,
cool
man. Here's this for verse 3 after the bridge.
Yeah,
when it's broke down.
Totally.
I mean, I know it sounds like early 2000s, but
well, that's just we're a product of our upbringing. But and then by sending them that on a send, if they want to mute everything except that for 2 bars at the beginning of the bridge or whatever, or the verse, the down verse or whatever,
brilliant.
They can do that.
Okay.
Brilliant.
There's so much to take away, and that's a great way, because a lot of times, we're talking about the clean sound, that philosophy, now getting into a more colorized, treated sound, and how that's becoming more of an expectation. How do we do that across different platforms? And this is a great
thing. I think it's always been a part of the conversation. We just weren't equipped to speak the language as drummers who weren't also engineers.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about, if someone sends you a track and they're thinking, I'm thinking about Kid A here.
Mm-hmm.
Like most songwriters or producers they're not just talking about the parts that were played on the drums on a record like Kid A. They're talking about the way the drums sounded.
Yep.
And so until recently, we were only equipped and really expected to be equipped to play a part, a la fill in the blank.
Yeah.
But now it's if you want to, if you're inspired to, learn how to try to create that same color. That's again, yes, it makes you more hireable. It makes you, maybe more attractive to some more producers or something like that. But it's just a really fun fucking skill to develop, and another musical branch for you to grow for yourself.
And how is that any different than the type of snares that you're attracted to?
Totally.
And want to be known for your cymbal sound, your approach? You know, like all these things are kind of signature to that will attract like-minded band members, producers, songwriters.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for making it over. Thanks for lunch.
Yeah, good barbecue.
Yeah.
Edley's.
At least, man.
Let's go. Bye.